Math Champions, welcome to More Math.
Brought to you by Math with Janet. I'm Charlie Moore.
I'm Ruby Moore, and today we're going to be doing an activity called Composing and Decomposing Fractions.
In this activity, we will be taking our unit fractions and putting them together and taking them apart.
Let's play math!
First, we'll need to know what composing and decomposing means. You might have heard the word composing before from music. Composers put together notes like building blocks to make a song.
This song, March Slav, was composed by the composer Tchaikovsky.
Now let's talk about decomposing.
You might have heard the word decomposing from compost. In a compost pile, food, leaves, and other materials get broken down into their building blocks that they were before.
So what does fractions have to do with music and compost piles?
Well, we're using these unit fractions as the building blocks to make other fractions. For example, if we wanted to make 3/4, we would compose that and put that together by not using that, by using 3/4 sized pieces. These are all 4th sized pieces. This is 3/4. Let's go to the board.
So the numerator tells us how many pieces or building blocks we need. The denominator tells us how big of building blocks we need to use. So we know we have 3/4 because we took 1/4 size pieces and we took 3 of them. So that's 3 1/4 size pieces, so that equals 3/4.
So now that we've composed the fraction 3/4, let's see how we can decompose it. We can split them up 1/4 plus 2/4. 2/4 plus 1/4. 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4.
Let's record them on the board. Hey, 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4, that's repeated addition. We have the same thing over and over again.
We can say that there are 3 1/4 size pieces, so that's 3 times 1/4.
So all of these things that we have on the board, all of these equal 3/4.
Let's see if we can do the same thing to another fraction. So we have our next fraction.
It is 5/4.
Do you notice anything strange about this fraction?
The numerator is bigger than the denominator.
Let's see if we can build this.
We still need the fourths.
All right. It is using fourths still, so.
In order to get 5/4, we need to take 5 1/4 pieces to get there.
So now that we've composed and put together this fraction, how can we decompose it?
We could do it lots of ways. We can do repeated addition again. We could do 3/4 plus 2/4, or we could do 2/4 plus 3/4.
We could also do 3/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4.
Or we could do
1/4 plus 2/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. There are lots and lots of different solutions. Let's write some on the board. So we have a good number of solutions here. I want to look at this one. This one is 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4.
That's hard to say.
Yes.
We can use multiplication.
Okay.
So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 times 1/4 equals 5/4.
Over here, 4/4 is equal to 1, and then we have some extra. So this is 1 plus 1/4 is 1 1/4. If we said that 4/4 was equal to 1, can size it up. And it is. So if we have 4/4, and then we have this extra one here, that tells us that it's 1 and 1/4.
All right, should we do the next one?
Yes. 5/8.
All right.
This one we don't have the size pieces for. We don't have 1/8 sized fractions.
Yes. So, what do we do now?
You tell me.
Next, we can try to, well, we do have these extras. This one is smaller than 1/5, and this one is smaller than the blue number.
Okay.
So we could make 1/8.
How?
Maybe we can take these, and take a hole, and then we see how many of these fit on a hole.
Yes, there we go.
So if 8 fit on a hole, they'd be 8s. I figured out that 6 of the blue pieces fit on the hole. So that means this is 1/6.
Well, for these purplish ones, I found that 8 of them fit on a hole. So every one of these is 1/8, the size that we need for our fraction of 5/8. So we have our 5/8 size pieces. Now that we have composed the fraction and put together the 8 size pieces,
Decompose.
yes, we can do 3/8 plus 2/8
2/8
plus 3/8.
3/8.
We can do 4/8 plus 1/8. We can do 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8. Those are a few. Let's go up to the board.
Again, repeated addition. 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8.
So what can we do to this to make it simpler?
We can count it, which is 5. We counted 5 1/8 size pieces.
Hence the fraction.
Yes. And then we can do multiplication. So it's 5 times 1/8. Because it's 1/8 5 times. Next fraction. So for this fraction, we did a little switcheroo with the numerator and the denominator. It's 8/5 instead of 5/8. All right.
Okay, so for this fraction, we have 8/5. We already have these size pieces, so we can compose the fraction.
I'm gonna take 8 of these 1/5 size pieces.
Now that we've composed it, and now that we've put together the 8 1/5 size pieces, let's decompose it. Wow, that was a lot of fractions. How do we know that they all mean the same thing as 8/5?
Well, we could add them. We could actually find the answer. We just wrote them. We didn't write the answer. So we could find all of the answers. So that's 3. That's 4. 5, 6, 7. And then that's 8/5. So there are 8 pieces, and they're all 1/5 size pieces. What is it?
see it? So this problem right here.
Okay, my bad. This is not correct. The denominator is not 6. I will just erase that here. Now we know that this is 8/5 because 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 1 is 8, so it's 8/5.
So for this one, this is repeated addition again. So we can turn that into multiplication. 8 times 1/5. The other problem we can talk about is this one right here. This one is 5/5 plus 3/5. Now what is 5/5 equal to?
It's equal to 1 whole.
Yes. So we can have 1 whole plus 3/5, and we get a mixed number again, which is 1 3/5. 5/5 equals 1 whole. So we also have these extras.
And these extras do not equal whole.
But they go alongside the whole to make 1 and 1, 2, 3/5.
Alright, next fraction.
11/3.
Alright, let's get them out. Oh no. That's not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's only 9 thirds.
We don't have enough thirds to make 11/3.
Can we make thirds at all?
So, can we substitute some 3/3 for 1 whole?
Yes, we can. So we can take those. This one.
So this is 3/3. So even though we didn't have enough 1/3 size pieces to make 11 1/3 size pieces, we can use this to visualize what that would look like. Now, if we wanted to decompose this, we would want to split these into approximate thirds so that we can have an idea of what the decomposing would look like. Now, these aren't perfect drawings, but as long as our thinking is good, we can be able to use these as approximate 1/3. So, how could we decompose this?
We could do 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 1/3.
We could do
1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 plus
1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3
plus 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3.
We have our many 1/3 plus each other.
11 times 1/3.
Over here, we know that 3/3 is equal to 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3.
So that's 3 whole numbers.
Plus 2/3. So our mixed number would be 3 2/3. So we've been composing fractions,
And decomposing fractions.
which helps us to get to know the building blocks of fractions really well.
So later on, we can do some really good problem solving.
Until then, this has been More Math.
Brought to you by Math with Janet. I'm Charlie Moore.
I'm Ruby Moore. Thanks for playing math with us.